All right, now what we're going to look at is the next part. You're given the graph and you got to find the equation. All right, so let's have a look at, you're given the graph and you got to find the equation. Let's look at several graphs. We're going to try and find all the different equations that we can. All right, there's the line, and this line is my y-axis, this is my x-axis, this is passing some point 4, let's say, and this point is -3. And for these questions here, they want us to find the equation of the line. Find the equation of the straight line. For this particular question, remember that the straight line is y equals mx plus c. Right, so if we go all the way back to y equals mx plus c, m is the gradient, so I need to get that, and I need to use the rise over run. Step 1 would be to get that gradient. Step 2 would be to get the way it cuts the y-axis, the y-intercept. If I get m and c, then I'm done. I got my equation. All right, so for this one here, let's write down y equals mx plus c, we got it there, and let's get the m value first. So m, which is basically your gradient, is given as the change in y over change in x, or commonly known as rise over run. Because I got two really fixed values and quite easily understood values, I can see that this is going to be my run, and that is going to be my rise. And so, this being my run and this being my rise is positive, because if I start over here and I end over here, and besides, if you're not sure about whether a gradient is positive or negative, just remember if it's sloping this way, your m value must be positive. And if it's sloping this way, your m value must be negative. So all you have to do is just take the y, the change in y, which is 4 in this case, and divide it by the change in x. In this case, it's 3. And because it's sloping that way, remember it's positive, so just leave it positive. Now I've got my m value, got my gradient, like that. The y-intercept is pretty simple for this one. The y-intercept is right there, c equals to 4. So c, which is my y-intercept, is equal to 4. And so therefore, I can write my final line. I can write my final line as y equals to 4 over 3 x plus 4. And that's the equation for this line. But now, let's suppose you're given a line and the points are not so readily available as those, but rather you're given a straight line and you're given 2 points. So there's my straight line. This is another straight line. And you're given 2 points. You're given a random point here, 4 and 2. And over here, you're given -2 and -4. And that's your y-axis, that's your x-axis. And the question is, find the equation of the straight line. You're not given a y-intercept. You're not given an x-intercept or x-intercept. So find the equation of the line in the form y equals mx plus c. Again, we still need to find m, we still need to find c. So our objective is to get the m value, which is the gradient. And if we go back again, what did we say the gradient was? Change in y over change in x, rise over run, vertical over horizontal change. At the moment, I've got 2 visible points that I can work with. And if I have to go horizontally in line with that point, and then vertically after that, how how many points would I have to move right, and how many points would I have to move up to get there. So to go from -2 to 4, it's going to be +6. And to go from -4 up till 2, it's going to be +6. Now, how did I know this? I first have to maybe locate my x value. So remember, let's label this. So this is -2, and this is 4 on the x-axis. So this length is going to be 6. Over here, this is going to be -4, randomly chosen points. This is going to be 2. So to go up, that's going to be 6 as well. So the length of this line from there to there is 6, and the length of this spot is going to be 6. It's going to be my rise, and this is going to be my run. Gradient is equal to rise over run. It's going to be equal to 6 over 6, which cancels out and becomes 1. All right, now this is my gradient. 6 over 6 equals 1. Done with the first part. All I need now is my y-intercept. I can't seem to see my y-intercept. It's not there. I need to find this y-intercept. I need to locate it. The location of this y-intercept means that I have to do something. So what I'm going to do is to find c, we're going to substitute two things. We're going to substitute the gradient and another point that we have into the equation. Y equals mx plus c. And then we're going to use algebra, and we're going to solve for c, to find c. So this is a bit of a process. So we want to find c. We found the gradient. We now want to find the c value. What we're going to do is substitute gradient and another point. So let's write that down quickly. We know that m is equal to my gradient. It's 1. All we need is another point. I can see 2 and 4. Negative values are difficult to work with more than positive values. So I'll choose 4 and 2. It's the point. When you choose a point, remember you are actually taking some x value, some y value. And now we're going to, we found the gradient, we found another point, and we're going to substitute it into this equation. So we're going to have y equals mx plus c. Now watch carefully how these points go in here. The m value will go there. Use a bracket. The x value, you can see, is going to go there. Let's use a bracket again. And the y value goes there. We don't really have to use a bracket because it's alone. These two are multiplied together. And then plus c. We get the plus c because that's what we want to find, right? Plus c. This is 4. We move 4 across. It becomes 2 minus 4, which is equal to c. And so therefore c is equal to -2. I have my m value. I have my c value. I have my straight line equation. I am now done. So I can write down my equation. I found it. Y equals 1x, or just x, minus 2. And that's going to be the name of this line. Y equals 1x minus 2. All right. Given 2 random points, we found that.